We've got a lot of young people listening to this podcast, the newsagents, and I wonder what your message to them would be now. They are, reaching voting age or above voting age and thinking, I could have had a future which involved working, travelling, seeing huge swathes of Europe, being totally at home with the open borders. My life would not have stopped here, at the borders. I could have gone and worked and learned and had experiences as you did for much of your life. Is there any message to young people now who are thinking, Brexit has shut down, has actually shut down our horizons. It's stopped so many people from having so many experiences now.
So, I think that overstates it massively. Last time I looked, it's not illegal to work in the European Union.
It's much harder.
It's got a bit more complicated, but
and it's more limited.
Large numbers of people still do that. It is still possible. It's no more complex than it has been to work in Australia, in America, in Canada, the rest of the world all this time.
But the point is, though, that
of opportunity.
But we had it all. The difference is we didn't have that arrangement, with Canada, America, Australia. We did have it all when we were part of that large trading bloc. We could literally go and work for a whole year if you wanted, seeing different countries, enjoying that freedom, making money in a country that wasn't your own, learning languages. That's gone. We've regressed.
That freedom of movement has gone because we voted to end freedom of movement into the UK, and obviously you can't end freedom of movement into the UK without the rest of the EU doing the same for us. So that is a political decision that has been taken.
And yet, as you're saying, we've still got net migration at its highest.
To get used to that.
And Rishi Sunak's still talking about the small boats problem as being the most critical one facing the UK. So what did we solve there?
Well, it is possible to solve the small boats problem if we wish to, but the bigger question is that you only get freedom of movement in the European Union in the way that we've had it if you subject yourselves to EU laws, and if you subject yourselves to laws that you don't have a say in setting, and that's what we voted against. We voted, and I think this is also important for young people, we are now in a full democracy again. We can set all our laws. You can change everything by elections.
We were always in a democracy. Always in a democracy.
No, look,
why would you use language like that?
We're in a constrained democracy in the European Union.
Would you, like Jacob Rees-Mogg, call us a vassal state within the EU?
I personally wouldn't use those terms, but if you're a European Union member state, when you come to an election, you can't change your trade policy, you can't change your employment policy, you can't change your social policy, you can't change your immigration policy. There are lots of things. We
literally helped write those rules. We were at the table writing those rules.
To me, that is a constrained democracy. It's not a full democracy. You can't change everything. And how they work is subject to a court, which we only have a small part in. What we now can do is set the future of our own country in the way we wish to, with complete freedom, and that is a huge opportunity.
And do you think we're doing that
for 50 years?
No.
We're beginning to. We've done more things than people think, but I would like to have seen us going faster, and I think we still can. I think we've got a bright future ahead of us if we can stop with the kind of sort of fantasy that moving very slightly closer back towards the EU is going to transform our economic position. It is not. It's in our hands, and we've got to get serious about that and change things.
So your message to people who are now regretting it or thinking it's wrong or starting to wonder why on earth we did it is what?
My message to people is you voted to give back to the British people the ability to determine our own future, and it's now in our own hands to make the best use of that. We may do it badly, we may do it well. It's in our own hands, and we've got to get it right.
It's not a ringing endorsement, is it?
The Newsagents. This is a Global Player original podcast.